Hey, good morning folks. David Hubbell here, and it's Saturday, October 29th, 2022 here in Mobile, and we're ready to check out the Mirliton. It's been a pretty dry week, but we expect to get rain in a couple of hours, so I'm trying to get out here a little bit early. Let's see what's happening this week. Hey, do me a favor before we start. Please subscribe and click that bell so you'll be alerted to all upcoming Mirliton videos. Thanks. Well, folks, as I said, we got rain coming our way. Just to do a quick update, may not be a long video. At this point, we haven't seen a lot of changes, and what I'm really hoping to showcase here is just some of the same things, but the progress on some of the pollinated Mirlitons. And our little friends, the Mexican beetles, continue to hang out here. There's a little bee hanging around as well. There you go. Do your thing. You can see we have one of these that looks like it's coming along okay. I'm seeing a lot of females. Yesterday I came out here and I saw mostly females, and it looks like the male flowers have dried up a bit again. Like I said, we haven't really had any rain in the last little week, but as you can tell by the wind, and we're supposed to get a pretty good rain today. So I probably should have done a little watering last week, but really, as like I said, as things get busy, it's hard to always stay after it and work a job. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little canvassing, see if I can find any progress on our Mirlitons. Still quite an abundance of females showing up. Like I said, I still have some males, but it looks like some of them either on the verge of coming out or they're dried up some. It seems like the females can't come on pretty consistently with this vine, but the males seem to come in waves. So maybe I'm just, because I'm not looking at it every day, that's just what I'm observing. But anyway, let's see what else I can find. This one's coming along pretty nicely. With the winds blowing, I get a lot of the acorns or dead branches falling out, so I keep hearing things dropping around me. As you can see, the vine is still vigorously growing. So I got a lot of new growth. So barring any freeze, I should be still producing into the next month and a half, I think, which is good because I probably only have about a dozen that'll be ready to pick in the next little bit. So these continue to be the most exciting part. You can see this one's really come along pretty well, and I think the surprise from last week, I'm going to go ahead and pick it. Let's see. You see, it looks like something either just rubbing up against it, or maybe it was a squirrel. But see how it fits in my hand. That's a good sized Mirliton. Not perfect, but I'll take it. There's another nice one coming along. I think another week or so on this. See, the citrus is also starting to change colors a bit. And you can see this back end right here I've got. That's a pretty little display. These are probably at least 2.5, 3 weeks off. And then there's even one a little closer there. That's also coming along. Going to give you an idea of what it looks like on top of the structure, and also to see if I find any Mirlitons that I've missed. So actually I do see one. I don't think it's fully developed. So let's go check it out. Now, this is a bit of an oddity. I have not really ever seen this happen before, but it's not a fully developed. It almost looks like an inverted Mirliton. I've walked by here a couple of times and I failed to see this. So pretty interesting. Like I said, you need to come out at different times of the day with the different lights. And sometimes you may have to climb on top of some other structures and see. I'm also getting distracted by the fact I've got probably the best orange production I've had ever in my yard. So I'm seeing all those and just thinking of all the good things I get to do with that too. So this is interesting. It must be one I hand pollinated. It mustn't have obviously done a good enough job. So we'll watch this for a couple of weeks and see what it does. I'm sure it's perfectly fine to eat. It just won't do anything from a production standpoint of creating a sprout. While we're entertained by the sound of the neighbor's dog, I was able to hand pollinate about 20 or 19 of the Mirliton with the male flowers and the female flowers. So that's about what I got last week. I think I might have had 21. If you want to see how I did that, check last week's episode. I think it was week 6. And you'll see what I was doing, just grabbing the male flower and taking it to the female flowers. So the only other thing I'll probably really do, like I said, if I'm getting rain today, which looks pretty good based on the cloud coverage, I'll probably just go ahead and I've got a couple of bags of rabbit manure that we just collect from our rabbits, and I'll just throw them down there and just let the rain wash them in. As you can tell, like I said, I hadn't been doing much of anything with regard to the Mexican beetles, and we still have a few of these little leaf-footed guys around. But even though I've got such nice lattice work and my leaves are a little brown and dried, things are still going along the way I hope they would be. So let's hope that the conditions continue. Maybe we'll get a little more rain and cooler conditions, and then we'll see. But I hope to be picking more and more Mirliton over the next couple of weeks. Maybe not next week, but subsequent weeks after that. And you should be seeing that as well in your yard if your vine's coming along. Like I said, as far as knowing when to pick them, all I did is I know the right size it is, about fits in my hand. Some will be bigger, some will be smaller, depending on your variety. But you can tell, if you wait too long, the sprouts or the seeds will start to drop out of the bottom. So simply just use your past judgment. Even if you pick them early, they don't really ripen per se. So maybe it may affect more the seed, saving the seed going forward. But from your standpoint, as far as eating it, it ought to be good. And next week I'll be back and hopefully won't have the choir of dogs behind me. Thanks. So there you have it. That's this week's update. If you got any questions, please drop them in the comment section below, or you can send them to me at rpcajun2r@gmail.com. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel and share the video with all your Mirliton loving friends. And please check us out on mirliton.org on the internet as well as on Facebook, mirliton.org. In a couple of months, you should be seeing some classified ads for people selling sprouts, and then a few weeks after that, plants. So thanks, and I'll see you next week.